Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, how are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 video. So, Mischief Night is back on the PTS amongst all of the other bits and pieces that are currently in testing, and yeah, it looks like Bethesda are taking another crack at getting it ready ahead of Halloween. So, those of you who are old hands may well remember the event from its first time round in 2019, so that'd be the first Halloween after the game launched, a year after 76 actually came out. But for the benefit of those who didn't, Mischief Night is, well, at the time it was the second seasonal event we'd gotten, and it was set over at the White Spring way back when. The idea was that you move around the White Spring grounds and cause various amounts of havoc and mischief with various Halloween soundtracks and effects, and lots of cool bits and pieces going on, nice atmosphere, and make your way eventually to the front of the White Spring, where you'd face off against a wave of White Spring security who clearly didn't appreciate the mischief we were causing. So, unfortunately, this particular seasonal event, which was very popular at the time with the player base, did not get a second showing because it had a lot of performance issues. In particular, it was a frame rate nightmare, partly due to a lot of explosions going off in a small area, and also partly because the servers just weren't that stable at the time anyway. It also resulted in crashes and other issues like that, and since then, the event has not come back, as Bethesda have yet to be able to get it to a suitable standard to actually put it back into the game. Last year, they had another crack at it on the PTS around about this time, actually, and the hope was to put it in the autumn update so that we could have it back last year. They moved it down to Skyline Valley in Rapidan Camp, but once again, it didn't quite get over the threshold to be included in the update, so when the Milepost Zero update arrived, they had to leave Mischief Night out, which is a bit unfortunate. So that brings us up to today, where they are continuing to work on it, and we have another bite at the apple. And first impressions, somewhat solid. I've played it through a couple of times on the PTS now, and the first time it did in fact crash. The whole game just seized up and stopped running, and I had to hop out and quit that and everything and start over. The second time I went through it on my own. Nobody else showed up, which is, as just the PTS, obviously, small sample size of players and time of day and things like that. It's you roll the dice on it. But I wanted to try and get some decent lighting for the footage, so I went with what was available. So far, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. We'll see if it actually makes it into the update come September. But yeah, it's fairly okay so far. So the setup at the minute is starting off in the woods outside Rapidan Camp, down to the southwest of the location. And you make your way through, you blow up boxes of fireworks and the like, you fight off the Lost, who, the local enemy that's obviously going to come in and cause havoc for you. And you're making your way towards Rapidan Camp, lighting bonfires and so on, and following the much beloved Eyebot Jester towards the centre of the event. And you've sort of got three main stages that I've seen so far. One on the outer edge in the forest, one around the cabins of Rapidan Camp, and one up by the vertibird landing pad at the back. So the idea is you run around, you trick or treat, you grab candy out of the bowls, you blow things up, and you slay the enemies. And you sort of a rolling movement in towards the centre of Rapidan Camp, which is basically the way it worked up at the White Spring in the first year, but with a few little changes here and there. Yeah, it feels alright so far. I don't know, I think there may be a little rose-tinted glasses on this, but yeah, it feels like it could be more exciting. But still, it's fun, it's different, and obviously it's only going to come around once a year, so that keeps it a little bit fresher as well. That's assuming, of course, I can get it into the game. I have not yet actually been able to see whether or not the final sort of equivalent to a boss stage of the event is in this version or not, because the first time I played it, it crashed before I got there, and the second time, the timer ran out because I was trying to solo the thing, and the progress bar is not the fastest. I might have done a bit better had the enemies come at me a bit thicker and faster, because they are the fastest way to advance the progress bar, is to take out the Lost as they come at you. The other bits and pieces you can do, like lighting the fires and grabbing candy, do help, but in a smaller way, so it is what it is. Assuming they can sort of smooth things out, the instability and the crashing, I'm taking with a big pinch of salt anyway, because it's the PTS, it's always less stable, for whatever reason, partly because it's a work in progress, I suppose, and partly for probably other reasons as well that I don't know about. So, yeah, definitely a big grain of salt with that one, but it looks like it'll be fun. When there's plenty of players around, it progresses at a reasonable clip, so that's alright. And, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see until either I get a chance to play it again, or it actually comes out as to whether or not there is a final stage. I'm sure somebody else will cover those details. I would imagine that much like when we were back at the White Springs, once you've cleared the third area and caused enough mischief, then probably a force of robots, as per the original version of the event, will come out and try and attack us, because there are usually robots hanging around the Rapidan camp area anyway, so that would be a logical thing to have occur. You know, they defend the former presidential retreat, and it aligns with the original form of the event as well, so it would make sense for that to be the case, you know. But like I say, I haven't had the opportunity to actually see that yet, but hopefully things are progressing okay. Generally speaking, barring that one crash and, you know, the fact that there was nobody else there, it did seem to progress okay, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Fingers crossed, Mischief Night will be back come Halloween, and we'll actually have a bit of fun with it. And, of course, a whole load of spooky rewards with any luck. Whether or not they'll put it on top of the sort of currently existing event, because there's a Halloween event at the moment, the Spooky Scorched, so I don't know if they'll put the two together. They might even put both on at the same time, and hopefully some new rewards. It kind of looks from the PTS like more rewards might be available. There's a load of sort of spooky outfits and stuff, and new outfits and things that are making an appearance in the armor bench on the PTS at the moment. And I can't craft them because, well, actually I can't craft outfits at all on the PTS at the moment because they're weirdly disabled, some things, partly because they were showing up early because they've got a range of things that they've re-enabled ahead of time for the testing of the building update. So the whole thing's just a bit weird on the PTS at the moment. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But yeah, it does look like there's going to be a whole bunch of new rewards and stuff as well, should the event actually manage to land. But there we go. There's a quick sort of overview of where, as far as I can tell, at least for the moment, Mischief Night currently is on the PTS. Fingers crossed, all goes well, and we'll actually get the new reimagined version of the event live come Halloween. But yeah, I thought I'd bring this one to you and have a little chat about it, because it's something that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to since 2019, and I know there's also plenty of people who have not had a chance to look at Mischief Night at all, so hopefully that was interesting for you. If you like the video, you know where the buttons are: like, subs, notification bell, social media links in the description, and channel memberships down below if you want to support the channel. I really appreciate all of that. And if you get a chance, join us for live streams as well. We've got 76 on the go, and we've got some other bits and pieces that we're looking at as well. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon is a really cool, somewhat Elder Scrolls-like, although much darker, game that we're checking out on stream at the moment as well. And we've got a few other bits and pieces lined up for coming weeks and months as well. The rest of the year's got some really cool stuff lined up, so cross your fingers on that one. But for now, I'll say a very big thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very soon.